You make me wish the same thing. You must be great at funerals, laughing boy.
We're a little feisty this evening, aren't we?
We are not feisty. We are just a little tired of 10 people an hour walking by our bed like they were P.T. Barnum and I was a freak in a freak show. Why don't you guys get off the dime? There is nothing wrong with me and you know it.
There most assuredly isn't, Miss Powell. That's what I've been trying to tell you. As a matter of fact, you're in excellent physical condition.
She sure is.
Just a little overtired is all. A little overworked, perhaps. I guess a dancer's life isn't the easiest, is it?
With talent like this, she makes it look easy. Now, 12 years I've been this little lady's agent, and let me tell you, this is the best little stripper...
Dancer
that ever came down the pike.
You should listen to him. It's good for your morale.
Yeah, I should. I pay him enough. So what's your plan tonight? A big discussion about Freud and dreams?
You're not interested in dreams, Miss Powell? In this story you recount, you keep rejecting the fact that it is a dream, though you know it must be.
You know it. I don't.
As a matter of fact, I know quite the reverse. I say it is a dream. Let's run through it again. You say that it's always in perfect chronology. You wake up, you feel thirsty, you reach for the glass. You suddenly hear the clock ticking loudly.
Very loudly, right by my ear.
Even though all the clocks in this hospital are electric, they don't tick. In any event, the sound unnerves you, and the glass slips out of your hand and breaks on the floor.
And then I hear the footsteps outside.
Footsteps? What footsteps?
Miss Powell seems to feel that they belong to a nurse.
They are the footsteps of a nurse. I hear them. They come down the corridor and pass my door. I jump out of bed.
Now, Miss Powell...
I jump out of bed. I open the door and I see this nurse going into an elevator. I follow her. She goes down to the basement floor, and at the end of the hall there's a room. It's room 22.
22? What kind of room?
Well...
Go on, tell him.
Tell me what?
You might as well say it. I already know the answer.
Tell me, Doc, is there a room 22 in this place?
As a matter of fact, there is. It's the hospital morgue.
What? The morgue?
That's right, Mr. Kaminer. And Miss Powell seems to believe that the nurse comes out of the morgue.
Which, I have to say, if there's a patient in the hospital and they know where the morgue is, and the exact room and everything, and just because of... Oh, your headlights make it. But anyway, just because of a dream, then that's a little suspicious. Just saying.
Right straight at me with a little smile like she was expecting me.
And then she says, room for one more.
That's what she says, Barney, every time. Room for one more, honey. And then she grins some more and points to that room where all the stiffs are.
Odd dream, wouldn't you say, Mr. Kaminer?
Weird one, Doc. That's a real weird dream, all right.
It isn't a dream.
She claims it's one of our nurses assigned to the basement floor.
How can I tell if it's one of your nurses? All I know is she comes out of that room, looks at me, and says in a real smooth voice, room for one more, honey. I'll prove it to you. You bring her in here and I will point her out. Why will I? I know her face as well as my own.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
You called for me, Doctor.
This is Miss Jameson. She is the night nurse. On duty where?
On the basement floor.
And you are the only nurse on that floor?
Why, yes, I am.
The only one, Miss Powell. Look at her.
I'm looking.
Well, Miss Powell, is this your phantom lady?
No. The hat's the same kind, but the other woman's tall. She has dark hair pulled back behind her head, and she's got this crazy kind of smile.
That will be all, Miss Jameson.
Yes, Doctor.
Well, Miss Powell, it obviously is a dream.
It could be some other nurse.
If it were a nurse in our hospital, it would have to be that young lady. And since it's not, you'll have to admit it's very unlikely that the woman you saw, could have come out of the morgue.
I know what I saw. I know what I did. What are you trying to do? Prove I'm a nutcase?
On the contrary, I'm trying to help you. I'll tell you what, Miss Powell. To make my point, why don't we do something different this time?
Like what?
You say it always happens in such perfect chronological order, and your actions are always the same. You feel thirsty, you reach for the glass, you hear the clock, you hear the footsteps, and then you run out into the hall. And that's how it begins.
How so?
Tonight, when you're dreaming, or as you say, waking up, don't reach for the glass. Make a conscious effort not to. See if breaking the routine a bit won't stop it from happening.
Hey, that's a groovy idea, Doc.
Groovy.
Don't you think so, kid? Why don't you try it?
Barney, why don't you cue him? Tell him to give up on me.
Nobody's giving up on you, baby.
But when I know something, I'm too stubborn to change my mind. Explain it to him, will you? When the same thing happens to you for 6 nights in a row.
Now, you hear that? 6 nights. You know how much salary she's losing.
Overwork, fatigue, exhaustion.
And when it happens,
Right. She says it happens.
A nightmare at this juncture isn't abnormal at all, Mr. Kaminer. In this case, with very little REM sleep, a nightmare would be the norm.
You said it. The man's a doctor, kitten.
Let's see what this evening brings, shall we?
Yeah, let's. I gotta go, kitten.
Something
Stay
tells
up
me
to
they're
this
all
doctor,
working
baby.
together.
Anyway, I sure am glad to see you looking so well.
thanks a heap, Barney. You couldn't boost my morale but weighed 1/4 of a pound and you had a derrick to lift it. Thanks for coming. Do it again sometime. I'll try to make it next year, will you?
Kitten, baby.
Get out, Barney!
Sure it is.
Remember about tonight, Miss Powell. Whenever you feel the compulsion to repeat your nightmare, don't. Skip that single step and see if it doesn't help.
Sure. What have I got to lose? I'll tell you something, Doc. If this doesn't work, I am checking myself out of here.
I think we're on our way to recovery.
Oh, are we? Well, we're just delighted to know that we feel that way.
Oh, nurse,
Yes,
have you given out the medications yet?
I was about to make my rounds. The tray's ready.
Good. How's Miss Powell?
305? Well, the same, I guess.
Did she leave her room?
No, sir. I've been keeping a close watch on her.
I want you to keep an even closer watch. When you dispense the medications, find some excuse to stay in the room for a while until she goes to sleep. And page me if you see anything unusual.
Unusual? In what way?
I'm
Maybe
not
the
sure.
doctor is-
Just keep an eye on her.
Yes, sir. Any change in her dosage?
No, the same light sedative.
Very good, doctor.
I'll be in my office if you need me.
Come in.
Hello, Miss Powell. Time for your pill.
Oh, thanks.
Here you go.
What is this stuff anyway?
Something to help you sleep.
What if I don't want to sleep?
Now, let me see you put it in your mouth and swallow.
All right. There. Happy?
Thank you. Doctor's orders, I'm afraid.
What are you doing?
Moving the IV rack. I think it might do better back here. Don't mind me. I should wait a few minutes to be sure the drip rate is accurate. You go ahead, lie back. Would you like the lamp off?
Sure, go ahead. Tell you the truth, I don't really care.
Feeling sleepy already?
You know, I think I am. Some pill you got there.
What? She just took it, though. That's fast.
Doctor,
Yes.
she seems to have gone to sleep.
Good.
You asked me to watch her, if that's all.
Now that's odd. That's really quite odd.
What is, Doctor?
Well, I was just thinking. When I talked to her this afternoon, she told me about this dream of hers.
What about it?
Following someone down the corridor, then getting in an elevator, going down to the basement, and the morgue.
Oh, sounds like a nightmare, all right.
Yes, but, well, the thing of it is, don't you think that part's truly odd?
Yes.
Odd, Doctor?
Yes, that's the only word for it.
Well, it was a dream, after all.
But you see, she's never been there before. Patients aren't
Called
allowed
it.
in the basement.
I know, Doctor,
Called
but in a
it.
dream...
Dream or not, when she tells the story, she mentions room 22.
Room 22? That is the morgue.
Of course it is. With big black numbers on the door, just as she described it.
Oh, yeah. See, look. Alright, so I guess the story's just going to really just dump on everything I said. So the doctor's not hiding anything, obviously. Nurse might be. But, yeah, the doctor's like, well, she really shouldn't know this. Okay, alright. They're detailing it a little bit better.
never even been down there. How would she know the number of...
Yes, precisely. How could she?
She didn't notice. They never do. I stuck the pill in my cheek and held it there when I drank the water. She only thought I swallowed it. Nurses don't see people, don't really see them. Too busy with their medicine and their charts, checking things off. Could have done it any time I wanted to. This time I had to know whether it was true or not, whether I was dreaming or whether it was real, and the only way to do that was to be awake when it happened, if it happened. There. That's it, that's the sound. I'm ready. It's funny, but I really am thirsty. This part's true, all right. Wait, don't reach for the glass. Not tonight, because tonight I'm going to find out once and for all. Okay. I can do it. Just like AA, only this time, it's not one day at a time, it's 1 second at a time. I can do this part standing on my head.
Huh.
Wonder. You're turning the light and stop. I'm going to find out. Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. Now the next part. Here she comes. I can hear her shoes. Is she going to stop?
That's like run out and tackle her ass.
I've got to get to her this time before the elevator comes. Oh, too late. Always too late. Come on. Come on. I've got to know. If I get there in time, I can stop her and I can make her tell me what this is all about.